Alrighty, so this is God Complex Part 1, or Stronghold. So this is a second-person narrative. It's very, like, movie-centric, like, narrative. So, like, it's very set as if it were a movie. It was written. I have been working on this for a while. It is a short story overall. This is just part 1, but like it's not a novel, but you could think of it as a novella. But I have kind of slowed down working on it of the last like month, 2. So I'm just gonna read part 1. So this is what that is, but yeah, it's a good story, at least in my opinion. Part 1 might need a little work if I were to edit it, but yeah, so that's what it is. So main character is stuck in a prison. That's all you know. So here we go. Flick. A day seems like a lifetime ago. You were thrown in this overly sterile room with exactly 3 things. 1, a black jumpsuit. 2, a will to live. 3, the promise that if you make it to the center of the complex, you can walk free. All else has been removed. Flick. You know you should remember life outside of the complex and whatever you did to get thrown in here, but... Flick. A panel on the wall motions for your attention, which you half expect to explode for some reason. Standing, you stare at as it fizzles into a question. Do you know why you're here? No, you say. Flick. Do you want to live? Yes, you answer. Flick. Why? Why wouldn't I? Flick. Your provisions will be given soon. Soon, food and water is transported inside your cell. It's decent, actually. A hamburger and a few fries, nothing crazy. Flick. You lay atop your bed thinking about something out of reach. Maybe it's just the same colors in the room affecting you, black on white, white on black. Flick. A feminine voice speaks through the panel. Hey, you, I'm talking to you, get up. You do as she says, and a face appears. Dark hair, sharp face. What's your name? She says. The name on your badge says 4119, so you point to it. I mean, what's your real name, idiot? You shrug. The lights flicker again. Fine. You'll be 41. Can you remember that? Good. I'm sure they've asked you this before, but do you know why you're here? No, you respond, your voice cracking slightly. The woman's lip curved into a frown. Did they at least give you the promise? Go to the center and you'll walk free? You nod, unconsciously rubbing your hands across your jumpsuit. I see. Well then, 41, my name is Delay. I'll try and get in touch with you soon. Stay alive. Then the panel fizzled away into the wall, leaving the perfectly cubed cell in silence. Flick. Flick. Had it been 3 days since the woman had talked to you? Strange. Why did it seem like a few hours ago? Or even a week? Hopefully the lights stay on. Flick. Flick. Do you know why you're here? No, I do not. Why won't you tell me? Who was that woman from a week ago? She said her name was Delay. There is no woman in our database named Delay. That is impossible. She was right there. Do you want to live? Why won't you answer me? Why? Just tell me! Food will be provided. You slam a fist into the wall. Again, then a third. Surely it will break eventually. Eventually. Flick. A voice whispers in your ear. Be careful tonight, it says. You jump at the voice, looking around for the source. Nothing. Then you notice a crowbar form on the floor, just as your food had arrived in the past. You pick it up, unsure of why you were even given this. But what was that scratching? It's like metal on metal. Was it coming closer? Then, just like that, the lights above you shatter, spraying everything with tiny shards of glass. You shield yourself from the worst of it, shouting curses, but freeze when you hear the tapping. Something was outside your cell. A long ripping sound echoes somewhere, along that way. Then you hear horrible shredding and screaming from that direction. Oh my God, you whisper. Water starts to drip from the ceiling. Sparks fly. You're drowned in darkness now. The only light coming with the occasional spark. Frantically, you try to get the attention of the bot from the panel, but it unfortunately seems dead. Then the far wall begins to open up. Blue eyes peek inside the ripped-made peepholes, scanning the inside. It spots you and calls out to something behind it. Then, as it begins clawing away more of the wall, you bring up the crowbar like a baseball bat. Black oil and crimson blood drip from the creature's claws as it rips open and claws through. A completely robotic body stands in front of you, nearly 5 feet, and hissing as it inches closer. Screaming, you swing as it attacks, smashing it aside into your bed, which collapses under the weight of the monster. As it gets up and slashes at you with its robotic front claws, you instinctively rush forward and grapple it to the ground by the neck, desperately trying to avoid the large toe claw on its foot. Yet it throws you off into the wall before lunging forward again. You land a strike with the end of the crowbar into its eye, which it stumbles back to touch. You yourself take a breath as you can already feel the sharp pain. The creature screams again, black oil coating its ferrous hide. It seems the creature is fearing you now, since it takes a small step backward when you make a move. Its tail even twitches like a cat that's found prey that's worth extra effort. The raptor calls out. A call for help, maybe? A few other creatures from outside the hole look inside a few seconds later. These new ones and the one you've been fighting talk to each other for a moment. Shouts, growls, and hisses exchange before the other drones move on. The one in front of you tilts its head to the side in almost a questioning way. A challenge, maybe? You want to go? You want to fight? Let's go! You shout at it, giving it all the anger and intimidation you can. Both you and it charge forward, slashing with crowbar and claw. Blood drips from the walls and oil pools on the floor. The creature manages to pin you to the ground and get a solid grip on your left wrist with its teeth, but you bash the bent crowbar into its last remaining eye, spewing oil onto your black jumpsuit. Screaming, you throw all your weight over and toss the metallic monster into the panel, which it shreds as it gets up. But you don't give it any time to prepare as you smash the stained crowbar into the base of the neck and yank it as hard as you possibly can, snapping the metal spine and sending the head across the room with a clang. You can hear the tapping of the other drones or robots or whatever they are getting closer. Is that just it? One dead before you're dead? You collapse to your knees in exhaustion, yet something catches your eye from the panel. You tiredly inspect the broken panel before realizing what you see. Light. Light inside the panel. You break open the panel using the crowbar to find not wiring, but a cold hallway that you'd expect on some ice planet or something. Hearing the raptors getting closer, you climb inside and try to close the panel from the outside. The ground has some snow and the air is freezing. Seeing a nearby open door, you quickly head to it. Inside, you find some sort of control room with monitors and several desks. All of them but one were full of static. You glance at the panel in the distance before slowly inching your way to the working monitor. On it was the woman from a week ago. Sharp-faced with long dark hair, she smiles at your arrival. You swear her eyes flash a bright blue, but They seem brown now. Hello, 41, she says. I assume you appreciate my assistance. You nod. The crowbar was what kept you alive so far. Good. I didn't expect the Velocii to go as rabid as they did. Sorry about that. Who are you? You ask. Me? I'm Delay, don't you remember? You shake your head. Not your name. Who are you really? What is going on here? Where am I? The woman smiles. Somehow her smile was more threatening than even the cold eyes of those raptors. Let's wait on that. I can give you something else instead, if you're curious. A deal, perhaps? I give you information, and you help me if you get free from the complex. Suspicious, still on a heavy amount of adrenaline and bleeding on the ground, you hesitantly nod. The woman's smile gets even bigger. Good. Then a book transports on the desk. You pick it up, careful not to get any blood or oil on it. A log book. Okay. Written by Diana Detritus. The screen begins to short circuit with Delay's face beginning to fizzle out. This is much as I help, 41. Het Center. God Complex. March Machine. And with that, it dies. Water slowly drips from the ceiling, just like in your cell. You shiver at the cold, but seeing no way out of here, you grab the logbook and run. 2 hours later, the panel lurches open. That is part 1 of the God Complex. That's just Stronghold. Like I said, it's not my favorite, but it's at least part 1. I'd probably do some editing on it if I were to, do anything with that. But yeah, so that's part 1. I have parts 2 and 3 completed. I don't know how far this series is going to go, part-wise. That's part of what I did with it. I didn't know. But yeah, so part 2 is Echo, and part 3 is called Illuminate. I will do those eventually. I do have other things that I will be reading as well, which I will put in the description, and for anyone who wants me to read those, you can choose which one you want me to read in the comments. So yeah, that's what I have so far, and hope you enjoyed the video. Yeah, enjoy. Have a good one.